Yeah, know what it is. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
So we're back, season 2 of November Rain. You know, like I said, last year we kicked this off, and you know, it was absolutely blessed. You know, we went through everything that we were dealing with at the time, coming through the back of this pandemic. You know, like we discussed like a lot of things. You know, obviously introductory sessions for like Duke and Dak. You know, getting to know them as well. Tom jumped in as well. So basically met the whole team, man. And then here we are like a year later. And
wow,
a lot's happened this year, you know. Give thanks, you know, everybody's still with us. We still got our health and thing, you know. Yeah, man, like I said, a lot's happened. I mean, a lot of growth. I mean, especially from you as well.
A lot of hair growth.
Like hair growth.
Spiritual growth.
New adventures.
New adventures, man. Yeah, it's a blessing, man. I think sometimes when you look at things, you can't really see where it's gonna go. And then when you go through it, you look back, you're like, wow, I just came all the way from that spot. Now I'm in this spot. Yeah. And I think that's like the FRSHRZ, man. We started, you assembled the team many moons ago, and we're here. And yeah, man, I just think it's all growth. I think even ups and downs, obviously we lost a lot of people in 2020, but even the ups and downs have helped us to shape what we're trying to do going forward. So yeah, forever thankful, man, always.
Yeah. And so I mean, like obviously at the start of this year, you know, I mean, how things have turned out, like we're near the end of November, you know, has it hit your expectations, surpassed your expectations, or taking an unexpected twist?
Mad twists, mad turns. I'm like, there's so many, the to-do list is so long, it's grown so much. And I have to apologize to people that have been waiting on certain projects from me, especially when it came to the remixes. They're sitting in the vault. I literally tried to come in today. This is the first time I've been in for a long time in terms of touching the studio. Trying to wrap that all up, man, because so much gold we're sitting on, super gold. But life happens, and you have to deal with life first. And that's where I'm at 100%. But I can't complain, you know, because I'd never pictured this reality a year ago. Trust me.
So in regards to the remixes, is there like a timestamp on it yet, or is there just, or it's coming?
Well, you're like the first one that will always know dates, and we had dates, we had release dates, we had campaigns ready, set up. Everything went left. On my part, can only look at me, can't really look. Everyone else played their part. Shout out to all the producers that did the remixes and patiently waiting. Also for the Ego playlist remixes, all the verses that came in, patiently waiting. It's coming. That's all I can say. I don't think it would be right to rush it before Christmas, but it will 1,000,000% be out by February. I think that's a good time.
Yeah,
just to make sure we do it the justice. But yeah, everything's ready to go almost. So yeah, man, I'm excited. And obviously we got the FRSHRZ project that we've been waiting for a little bit. There's a lot, man. What about yourself? How do you see the way this year's gone out for you?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year for me, man. I haven't been able to, just through like life and work, haven't been able to dedicate the time I would have liked to, you know, creating and building and pushing. But the way things are going towards it, it's interesting, you know, because I think with us, you know, a year that we would consider a slow year, stuff still happens, you know, and it's like, you know, even when you're not even trying to make things happen, just things are still happening, you know, and we've managed to accomplish a lot this year, you know, which to me surprised me. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, it is not really, it's a surprise, but it's not a surprise because we're all on a journey, you know, and for us to get to that destination, certain things will happen, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So, you know, some of the things that we've accomplished, and some of the things that we may not have thought we accomplished, is still contributing to the growth. You know, we're still learning. You know, and these are things that we can apply to the upcoming projects. You know, and the next moves that are coming through.
It's funny you say that, because I felt like we probably got more songs in us now. Because we pretty much had the EP was pretty much done. Album was shaping up. So I feel like songs were already in place, and we were obviously waiting to get things finished and mixed and put out. But yeah, even in this time, man, I feel like I haven't really picked up the pen in about a good 6 months. And that's mad for me. Like, for me, not writing is like not breathing properly. But everything else is kind of added to the thinking process. So I'm always rhyming in my head. I'm always freestyling. I'm always observing. I'm always making notes of things that I could talk about and songs that could be written. But yeah, dedicating time to sit down and write hasn't happened in the last 6 months. But it's all good. I think we needed to live life. We needed to experience. We needed to, like you said, the journey's changed. The journey has changed, man, and I think it's actually changed for the better. Positions that I am finding myself in now can only aid the group, can only aid the culture, can only aid the immediate circle. I feel like all that learning and experience is gonna push us to another plateau.
And I definitely feel you in what you're saying in regards to, you know, going through long gaps without writing and making music, but also feeling that, you know, you're adding to the pool of ideas, so that as soon as the next opportunity comes to put pen to paper, it's just going to be a explosion. You know,
it'll be easy. And it'll be fun. I think anyone as an artist knows when you go through those droughts, which are not really droughts, and then you sit down and you zone in again. Oh my God, like it just flows. Everything's coming. You're like, I can't even control. You know, this happened when we were doing. I think this was happening in 2020 when I was sitting down to do Avalanche.
Okay.
When I was writing Avalanche, it was all flowing. The connection with Benny, that was easy. Him formulating his, like, everything was flowing and going into like ego playlist, and then with the brand new song that was never planned, and that becoming like a international dance competition, like all of that was never in the plans, and it flowed. And I'm a big believer in flow. So I don't want to force it. Never want to force it, man.
Don't force it, don't fight it. That's the thing, isn't it?
Nah, man. Yeah, facts, big facts. But what about you? Because you have the album, and I know you're rejigging and adding and crafting. How did you find that process?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a meeting with Maz Law the other day, another hip hop artist, and I was explaining to him the rules of making albums have changed, you know. And I kind of explained to him this idea, which kind of blew his mind a little bit, where I said, you know what, I might just re-release and delete the album every single year and expand it, like every year, just, you know, bring it back, go in deeper with the mixes, you know, extend certain bits, you know, and then drop it again. So the album officially came out on Christmas Day last year, and Christmas Day it's coming out again. But you know, but the way I designed it to be, in terms of like with the artwork that I wanted, with better mixes and better mastering on it this time round, you know, and new videos. So, you know, whilst in my mind I've developed the next album already. So that's gonna start. So the process of that is starting. So this album might just exist as a living, continuous work of art, whereas we move on, you know. So that's
it's I think what I've learned over the years is to be more patient. I think the old me would have been like, nah, throw it out, whatever condition it is in, let's get it out. Now it's more like, if it doesn't feel right or natural,
yeah,
and things are not clicking, then no, it's not the right time. It's definitely not the
yeah,
right time. But I like the idea of revamping. I think that's why I wanted to do the remixes, because it was keeping the music alive, but adding new aspects to that dynamic as well.
Yeah, because I mean, as artists, and I've seen it happen so many times, so many talented artists, they'll put a project out and then they'll just move on like it. And if that's how you treat your music, then that's how people will treat the music as well, you know? And it's like, and to me, I'm looking at like, no, this is a serious body of work and I'm going to treat it as such. So, you know, we'll go back and, you know, put the time and effort into perfecting it. And then when it comes to the live show, perfect that as well. And like you said, man, take the time and just, you know, just make sure that when it drops correctly. So that's the key thing.
Because I was in, especially with your album, because I just remember the processes you were going through in terms of way before even getting to recording, just notes, writing, ideas. You had all of it kind of mapped out. I don't think a lot of artists treat their projects like that, with the detail and the intention. It's almost like, let me just knock out a couple of tunes and put it out. But actually, when you think about the great albums, we still listen to them because they have the detail and the maturity and the longevity, and that's because of the craft. So I'm definitely with you on that idea that actually, no, you should be milking that project. You should be repackaging it, doing different versions, live versions, remixes, whatever it is, just to keep that momentum going on that one project, because actually that's why we're doing this. There's no other reason, really, for me anyway. I know for you as well. This is about legacy and leaving a great body of work behind. So now I salute that. I feel like it's a lost art. It's a lost art, man.
No, for real, man. But I mean, one question I'd be interested to ask you though. Obviously, this year you fully deviated into the Artcha series, and really embraced, you know, like designing and building your own clothing line. And now for you, was that like was that a relatively straightforward process, or was that the idea all along, or is it you just went with the flow? Or
it was so the idea of the Artcha series came definitely 2019. 2019 was the concept of that, and that was like something I always wanted to do. Fashion was kind of my thing anyway, but to actually be on the forefront and do design and sourcing and e-commerce and figuring out price, budgets and plans and marketing strategy, like that wasn't really part of the plan, because I know that's a whole nother job. But yeah, lockdown really just showed me, you know what, everything is possible right now. Like when we got this time given to us, and although we lost people and it was mad times, it was a blessing as well. So I embraced it, and I was like, you know what, while it's here, while the fire is here, let me just run with it, because actually it isn't a short-term thing. And that's the other thing we're talking about. Music, it's the same with fashion. This isn't short-term. You're not going to get rich in a year or two. I'm building a brand. And if I'm building a brand, it's going to be meticulous. I got to test it out. I'm going to have some mad failures. I'm going to waste a lot of money. But I'm going to learn some hardcore lessons. And I say this year is the refining stage from 2019 to now. I know exactly how the brand should be. I know exactly what it should look like. Thank God I've been able to hire 2 members of staff. Thank God, because it's a lot of work. So that's another challenge as well, just making sure that you're running a team that see the vision that you have. So yeah, it's just grown, man, and I'm thankful for that. And I guess that's why the music was kind of taking back seats, because I was partitioning my time. But yeah, it's all gonna come together. It's all gonna come together.
That's amazing, man. And so you literally just released like a new range of garments. And so is that setting up for something in the new year, or are we
Yeah, yeah, obviously off camera, I'll tell you the actual plan, the detail. But yeah, something we're setting up for in 2022. So it's really
Nice.
making sure I did a lot of research this year. So this year was research. This year
Mm,
was consultation. It was speaking to some amazing people who are like 10, 20 years ahead of me in the fashion
mm,
industry and giving me gems and me saying, you know, okay, cool. Maybe I need to pause and refine. So yeah, next year is really about an actual launch because I've never really launched this brand. It's kind of just popped up. It's been
yeah.
available. You might see me online, whatever, but I've never done a full launch because I knew it
Mm,
wasn't where it needed to be. But 2022, that's where I'm like, cool, let's just announce it, to put everything in place, get the team in place,
mm.
and then move forward, man. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Man,
I'm
and I
excited
mean,
about
and I know also you've done like a few pop-up stores this year as well, isn't it?
it.
So what was that
Yeah,
experience like being
valuable,
out there?
man. That market research, you can't buy that stuff, man. Like you go out and you meet real people and they'll give you real honest opinions. And you know what? It's weird. It's just reconnecting with London, man. There's a lot of good people out there, as much
Mm,
as the media doesn't show us that. So I was speaking to people and they were giving me amazing feedback about even things down to colors, like color schemes, materials, design, sizes. Like I was like super naive to all of these intricacies, and I was like, cool, let me go back and redefine and come back. So yeah, this range that's out now kind
yeah.
of caters for a lot more of the community. So women exclusively in terms of like gym wear,
Mm,
obviously the hoodies, the tees, the gym bags, like really getting into what do people actually want? What do they need? You see what I
mm,
mean? Like what are we really trying to do when we wake up and go out the door? What bag am I picking up? What jacket? So we got the bomber jackets coming. Yeah,
mm.
it's shaping, man. It's shaping. It's shaping. So I'm excited.
And and
Excited.
also besides that, you also jumping in the design world as well, right? You was doing a lot of
Yeah,
designs as well.
yeah. A lot of like logo design, branding, just working with other people's brands and making sure that their vision is realized. So I think what I realized in 2020 was when you have a certain agenda or a certain level for yourself,
Yeah.
there's more. There's
Mm,
more. Like I see it with you, like when you're author, like you're doing workshops, you're doing the connoisseurs of hip hop, you're also leading like there's more that can be done. Like it's not one thing. You
mm,
see what I mean? And I feel like music has been predominantly the one thing, and
yeah.
now it's fashion, now it's education,
Mm,
and it is all possible, man. It's super
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, and I think for me, I look at it as that the scene is almost like a big community, and I think
Yeah,
us as artists or even elders, to some respect, have a
yeah,
responsibility to do more than just just drop some tunes and that. If we've
mm,
got the experience and the knowledge to do more, let us do more.
yeah.
If we
I
can
agree.
reach the kids, if we can get in
Mm,
there with the fashion, if we can bring
yeah,
people together through events, all
yeah,
different platforms. Let's explore it, man, and
yeah.
because we don't know what the true calling is yet, and I
This
think we're on the
and
way.
I think it's funny you said because obviously we did the panel discussion. You were part of that.
Mm,
In discussions with shout out to the Hallie,
yeah,
who kind of want us to continue that series as well, and that was great because that was a discussion of young professional black professionals specifically for that panel,
yeah,
um, men and women, just talking about their experiences, trials, tribulations, successes, what we've learned, sharing our story. Like that was a powerful evening, man. Thank you again for actually being a part of that.
yeah. Thanks for the invite.
And yet, even that, bro, is like another flipping. That's another chain. That's like discussions,
Yeah,
um, building, workshop. Like so much comes from that. And I think what
mm,
I've actually realized, and I know you do this as well, you do need to have people around you who can facilitate the vision
yeah,
because it's definitely not a one man show or one
yeah,
woman show.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I, I, I'm putting myself in positions where I'm like, cool, I don't know everything. That person knows more than me. Cool, come through. Or she knows more than, let me. That's how I'm moving now.
Yeah,
Totally. No ego, humble.
yeah,
As
yeah,
the vision is realized.
yeah. And I know people are always paying attention. They're always paying
Yeah,
attention, man.
yeah,
You know, and I think we're chipping away. We're building a foundation right now of
yeah,
you know, that is probably far greater than what we are. And like you said, we speak on legacy, you know, and this is what we're
yeah.
doing right now. This is legacy building, you know. I mean, and is there a vision for the In Discussions series as it goes forward,
Yeah,
or?
because again, this is about building platforms and business that doesn't need me in the center. I don't need to be in the center of all of these aspects. So the idea is to bring, especially younger people, bring them through to host, bring them through to be on the panel, diversify the age groups, diversify the industry. So it's not just music, creativity, fashion, etc. We're talking about um, being lawyers, property developers, therapists, engineers, architects, like all of these other areas of greatness. I want someone else to kind of say, cool, I can lead on that, I'll lead on that. And I'll just kind of be in the background supporting. So I think that the true talent is finding the next waves, the next legacy, the next generation who are like, okay, I have a different way to do what you've been doing for the last 20 years, including music. And I'm
Yeah,
getting to that point where I think for me, like you said, you got another album in your head that you're working on. I've probably got, I'd say, two more solo albums in my head that need to get done. And I'm good, man.
yeah,
Because at
yeah,
the end of the day, we're not trying to be superstars out here. We're not trying to, this is not for the money. This is about, okay, this is my contribution to a form of music I love. And that's what I need to say. And it's said. Now I'm going to push up the next wave, man. So yeah, it's funny you say that. I looked at the hard drive, bro.
yeah,
There's definitely two albums done.
yeah.
There's two albums done. So again, timing, patience, and then we
Yeah.
go forward.
That's what's up, man. So the archive is
Yeah.
definitely stacked, and you know,
You know how it goes. You know how it
that's
goes.
that's
Well, what
amazing,
about
man.
you? Because when you because obviously you got your companies as well, Wisdom.
Mhm.
Where is it been heading for you in this last year?
Yeah. So for me, although wisdom is still there, I've kind
Mm,
of gone down the path of building the rap academy. So
mm,
again, like what we was speaking about earlier is trying to realize how I can contribute, you know, and my
mm,
knowledge and experience, and you know, going into the primary schools, going into the secondary schools, and just seeing the impact, you know,
yeah.
bringing my love for hip hop, you know,
Mm,
into these classrooms, and using it to bring young people out of their shells, you know, get them up
mm.
in the front of the classrooms, and just even wowing some of the teachers, like they've never seen
Yeah,
their students act in certain ways before, you know. and
that's it.
and and ultimately it's all through the power of hip hop culture, man, you know.
Yep.
And and it feels like to some people might be, well, it's a small contribution. It's still a contribution, because you don't know, because
Power. Yeah.
I know my rap career started when I was in primary school, and some guy who I
Mm.
to this day I probably still don't know came in and did a rap workshop, which is like
Yeah.
some, you know, circle of life thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I remember coming to that class writing my first little 4-bar rap. That's how it started, which I never forgot.
Yeah.
And obviously things just elevated gradually throughout life, you know.
Yeah.
And so for me, out of the hundreds of students I've taught so far, you know, it just
Yeah.
takes one or two of them, like 20 years from now, to come back and be like, yeah, it was you know.
That oh my, if this, when this is out, this is the moment, bro, that everyone has to understand what you just said, bro. That's it. That's success. One or two people that you have encountered 10 years down the line doing what you've done for another two or three. That's it.
Mm.
That's when I'm like, we got to keep going.
Yeah. And
That's
I think one of the most interesting conversations I remember having with the late great Ty, was we did a gig with him, and I think we all told him our first encounters with him, and they were completely different at completely different times. And obviously, Dre saying that he met him, he came to his school to run a workshop, which I thought was funny. You know, it's just so it's just
hilarious.
It just goes to show you, man. You know.
Yeah, and I think I think obviously we love Ty, man, taken way too early, and I feel like his impact is everlasting, long lasting, and I know definitely in what I'm doing, I know for yourself as well, man. That voice is in the head saying, okay, what are you doing? What's this about? What are we trying to do here? Like,
yeah,
I just remember so many moments of affirmation being told off, being told to fix up, being told to push myself more, being told to, like, he was telling me stuff that was making me think, why is he doesn't need to do that for me.
He doesn't
really need to do, but he did. And now I'm like, cool. Anytime I meet someone and I'm like, I can see something's happening, or they're on the I'm gonna give you that word. I'm gonna give you that encouragement. I'm gonna tell you can. I'm going to try and support you if I can, if it's possible. I will. And I think that is, again, what this is all about.
Yeah. And I must say, you know, that's a good point you just raised as well, man, because it's like, even though he's no longer with us, we still hear him. We still see his influence. We still see that his high standards, you know.
Yeah.
And I've just recently got a post with Sound School. So I'm again working with young MCs and meeting them, and they're, you know, I got to sit in on some performances last week, and one of the rappers who I spoke to before, you know, we had a little chat, and I was explaining to him about stage presence, and like the whole time he's performing, he's staring me in my face. He's like, trying to show me that he's the one, and he's trying to impress me. And I'm just like, you know, and I take a lot of enjoyment from just sitting with these young artists and just giving them some game and just saying, look, man, you know, I've been doing this a long time, and I remember when I was your age, and I wish I had someone like me that could just say to you, look, man, you're going on the right path, you know, just continue, develop, you know, focus, you know, and you'll reach those goals, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting when I obviously, I'm sure the whole world has seen the Kanye interview on Drink Champs. What I took away from that particular interview was a fearlessness of speaking your truth, and a fearlessness of giving game away.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of misunderstandings that a lot of artists in higher positions don't really want to tell anyone else how they got there.
Yeah.
But in that powerful moment, one of the biggest megastars on the planet giving away free game was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah. If he can do that, everybody else should be running to give game away and things that they've learned.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of people were saying that's like the best interview in the last 10 years. Like, and I don't think they're wrong, because he literally gave away like almost $1 billion worth of game. But it's like, to some people, it will fall on them like the numbers in the Matrix. It's like, you've got to know how, because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to catch the jewels that he was saying in that interview. And some people immediately dismissed it, like, oh, he's crazy, he's this, he's that. But that's an interview you've got to watch more than once and break down, decipher all of the certain things he was saying, but really take the jewels. There's so many jewels in that interview.
Yeah, it was a masterclass, man. And I think, I don't know, I'm just seeing more and more of bigger stars showing a bit more humility, a bit more humanity. I feel like obviously lockdown knocked everybody, but I feel like if you came away from lockdown and the whole situation without changing, if you didn't change in some way, then I don't even know where you were. I don't know where you were. If you didn't change in some, and it could have been something small, like you change your diet, or you change the fact that you're going to reach out to more people, like anything that happened positively after that should show us that, you know what, we don't need to keep waiting for natural disasters or disasters to get back on the right path, man. So I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's growing my hair, bro. I'm thinking differently in 2020, 2021, 2022. I think there's more fearlessness going on.
Yeah, no, for real. And I think that definitely shines with some, when we look back through history and we see some of our heroes, our favorite artists, man, it is definitely that fearlessness, you know, of being true to themselves, speaking your pure, unfiltered truth, you know, and people can say a lot of things about him, but one thing they can't say is that he was not being himself.
No,
you know,
not at
and
all.
he sat there for nearly 4 hours, and you know, that's what makes that interview so amazing.
It's wild as well, because obviously he did the interview. He's got and I don't want to make this a Kanye thing, but I think the blueprint of what he's doing is resonating should resonate with all of us. So as the freshers, I know we always have the intention of dropping something that's fresh, new. We always want to kind of speak on certain topics that we haven't covered before, and that's kind of our contribution to this thing we call hip hop. I feel quite detached from the game in terms of hip hop specifically. I haven't really tapped into what's going on. I don't really know, apart from the obvious ones like Nas dropping albums and obviously the J. Cole's, the Kanye's. I haven't really kept my ear down in terms of what's happening. But from your perspective, because I know you're more tapped in, especially in the UK, that's probably where I'm not hearing a lot. I'm not hearing a lot of artists for some reason coming out with projects. Where do you think the land lies in terms of like the hip hop culture in the UK?
It's interesting, man, because you kind of got two lanes. You've got the guys that are really on the cutting edge of what's being groundbreaking and trying to push the future of where music is going. But then at the same time, you could run the risk of going too far forward and alienating yourself. You know, so you've got to try and get that balance of like, and I think an artist like maybe even Drake is someone that's done it well, in a sense where he's not really evolved, you know, but he's still on the cutting edge of things, you know, so he's got that balance, right? So he's almost kind of appeasing both audiences, you know. And I'm still trying to decide whether it's an advantage or not. But I mean, due to the fact that we do a podcast as well, I'm constantly listening to new music, like all the time. And you know, so sometimes I could listen to, I don't know, 6 or 7 albums a week. And it's some of it stays with me, some of it doesn't, you know. And I think, I mean, it's great when you discover like new amazing talent. But then at the same time, you kind of see the patterns. And I found it quite interesting for myself personally that when I actually did my album, it didn't jump into any trends. You know, it kind of exists on its own island. And I think for me, I applaud the fact that I didn't feel like I needed to jump on a wave. And I thought, and I realized just being myself, and people still gravitated to it, and they still like rated the project, you know, because of that. And, you know, and then you probably might have some people, well, I didn't hear no Afrobeat and I didn't hear no trap. But, you know, that wasn't the point. So I think we exist in a landscape now where you don't necessarily have to jump on the wave all the time. You can still build a fan base just being who you are, you know, because there's people out there that are raised the same way you are, listen to the same music you are, and into the same things that you are into as well. So there's always, you know, there's a lane for everyone. So that's the benefit.
I think that is the truth, man. I think that is the truth. And I think when you're not chasing that thing, whatever the thing is that people are chasing, when you're not doing that, you can keep your eyes on your prize and you can really zone in and just have fun. And then when people gravitate to it, I think the best moment, or one of the best moments for me, is creating the ego playlist, because it wasn't planned, it wasn't in the schedule. I was having fun. I was trying something different that I haven't really done before, production wise and as an artist. And then to get the reaction I got, it just confirmed, when you are not chasing anything else and you zone into who you are and all of those little intricacies that make you who you are, there's always audience. There's always audience, man. And sometimes you have to go get it. Sometimes you have to put it in people's faces. But there's always audience. And I think that's my message for any young artist coming up, man. We got too many of the same. We don't want more. We need difference. We need fresh. We need unique. We need people who are going to be talking about some topics we didn't even think about. There's still things that we haven't talked about.
yeah.
on wax. So it's really that time. It's a great time, actually, if you're creative right now on in any area, fashion, music, film, television, content builders. Like, this is a great time to just be very unique, super unique.
Yeah, and break some of the rules, man. You know, like you know, even referring back to that conversation I had with Maslow last week, it was like, you know, as hip hop artists, we kind of almost stuck in our ways that we have to put an album out and we have to do it this way and that way. And really and truly, who says these things? You know?
Yeah.
And we can do things where we could just push a single for a year, you know, just all different ways of especially when we're in control of the output, you know. And there's no time restraints. It's basically on you, the way you want to do it. Like with Brand New, you had the viral dance challenge, and you know, it was just it was unique, you know.
That's it. And it's funny because I feel like obviously the media are always seemingly a step ahead. So you've got TikTok and you've got these YouTube shorts, which I find very fascinating, where it forces you to be creative in a limited amount of time. If we, and I'm not saying we as in the freshers, but if anyone taps into that market and kind of builds it upon what it already is, and what I'm probably giving away an amazing idea right now. But if you build on like a TikTok, YouTube shorts culture, you could actually build things like mini series. You could have like 6 parts to a video. You could do alternative endings, like you could really expand this idea of that 30-second, 1-minute clip and tap into your audience. I am going to try and do one of those ideas, by the way. So if anyone does it before me, you heard it first here.
Yeah, for real, man. For real, man. That's amazing.
But yeah, so obviously we're in the midst of trying to get this Freshers project together. How are you feel? I know we've had a lot of stops and starts, but how are you feeling about the sound in terms of
again, it's a new experience for us as a group, because we've left it in the hands of Duke 84 to exec the project.
Shout out to Duke 84.
Yeah. So hopefully in the next episode we'll have, you know, Duke and Dre, so we can dive deeper into the process of the project. But yeah, for that really, it was just, you know, giving him a pool of tracks and him decide what songs he wants on the project, what order he wants them in, and trusting his guidance. And, you know, and obviously through the years of working with him, you know, I've definitely got a lot of faith in him that he will help us to deliver like an amazing body of work, you know. So in that respect, I'm excited to do in a project where we have a particular visual presentation as well, you know, as well as the artwork and as well as the music, and just something really cohesive and, you know, hopefully very cutting edge too.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I always get excited when we're working on a project, because I know we're always trying to outdo the last one. We're trying to do things differently. We don't want to repeat ourselves. There's always that idea of it. It's beyond the music. It is the visual. It is the process. It's definitely the first time we've left it to one person to kind of orchestrate where it goes, which I think is amazing. Duke's definitely one of the most capable people to do that. And yeah, I just remember writing a couple of those songs and feeling very free, like super free with the pen, with the concepts. I think there was we were even trying stuff. I don't even know if I should be saying this, but we were trying stuff I think Dre brought this to the group with just trying to write without writing things down, like just say it as it comes out, record it, done, keep it. Like that was freeing as well. That process of not writing
mm.
things down
Yeah,
and kind of building on your thought process
yeah,
organically.
yeah, yeah. You know, the various different techniques, man. And
Yeah,
again, you know, throwing the rule book out the window and just seeing that
yeah.
how new unique ways we can create, you know. And
Facts.
and even with this project, you know, going into a new studio with a new engineer and just seeing
Hmm.
how that works as well for us. You know,
Yeah.
that's also exciting
That
to see where that goes.
that, that that studio is looking very, very, very nice, comfortable.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm liking that one, man. Definitely. And
yeah,
I
man.
think the timing of what we're doing and what I know other bands, or not bands, groups are doing. Like I'm thinking about the Black Star album.
Mm.
I don't even know. Is a release date for that? Is that coming out this
Uh,
year, next year?
well, not yet, but we hear it's coming. You know.
Oof. Yeah, like just I love the idea of releasing something when other great people that we look up to are thinking of releasing as well. I think that gives me that extra sense of not competition, but it's the right time, it's the right environment to do this.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think, like you said earlier in this, all the stops and starts we thought we were having, or all the delays we thought were happening. I don't think that was actually a delay, man. I think that was just about timing.
yeah,
Things weren't
yeah,
supposed to come out when they were supposed to come out, and they're going to come out when they do need to come out, and that's it. That's the
yeah.
bottom line. Yeah.
That's
So
for real, bro. That's for real,
excited,
man.
man. Come on,
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna
come
be
on.
massive, bro. It's gonna be massive, man.
Oh,
Yeah, and
you've got another series of interviews coming through as well with the connoisseurs of hip
yeah.
hop.
So we've got obviously the Connoisseurs hip hop head to head interview series is about to kick off, and which usually tends to coincide with the November rain, the
Yeah, yeah,
4-part series that we do here as well. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so you know, this has been like a nice little introductory catch up. You know, and
Come on,
unfortunately, no Dre Styles today, but you know, it's
Ray.
we need to have
Next
this
time, bro.
conversation. Yeah,
Come
so
on.
we're gonna deep dive into what Dre's doing as well, because I know Dre's
Oh
previewed some
man. Oof.
exciting music that he's got coming
Wow.
as well.
Time. Come on. I'm
Yeah,
loving
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think that's the beauty. I think that's the other beauty is as solo artists giving each other that space to put stuff out and support that project. Um, yeah, it's great because I think this is definitely Dre's time. Dre's time is to get this music out to the public. And yeah, from what I've heard, it's sounding insane,
mm,
super insane. Definitely his lane, definitely his energy. So
mm,
we're looking forward to hearing that, man. And I want to hear the revamp of your album as well, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to get back in and just doing
Yeah,
some just having conversations with Chrome today, going back in and reworking that record. You know, so it's just a lot going on, man. A lot going on,
yeah, man.
and a lot more to come. You know, like I said
Come on.
in the other 3 parts of this series, the November Rain. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it, man. And yeah, looking forward to come back for episode 2 with Dre Styles,
1000.
with Duke 84. You know, might
Yeah,
even
yeah.
have a couple other guest appearances sprinkled in as well through this
Oof.
process. You know, I really want to get
Shout
Jerome in one of these as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely get him involved because he's like engineer, man. Come on, gotta get him in the
Yeah,
picture.
yeah, yeah,
I know he
man.
doesn't really do interviews,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. See how he
but
fits in this
we need the exclusive, man. Come on,
real talk, bro. Real talk, man.
exclusive.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm looking forward to the next one, and yeah, I think hopefully by then there'll be some more progress with the fashion and with
yeah,
the remixes as well. So we'll
yeah.
tap into
So,
that.
so you're giving us lots to look forward to, bro. Like obviously looking forward to them remixes, looking forward to that
Oof.
ego playlist, looking forward to
Oh my
them
gosh.
seeing how the clothing line develops, bro.
Yeah, it's
You know?
exciting times, man. Exciting times. Just have to remember to sleep in in the middle of it. In the middle of it.
Yeah,
But nah, it's good, bro. Yeah, next episode, let's deep dive. I want to definitely talk about some of the songs we got coming up as well. I think that's gonna
yeah,
be sick.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That'd be incredible,
yeah.
man. That's
So,
incredible, bro. Amazing,
okay.
man. Yeah, brother. Best for joining me,
All the,
man.
all the
Have
best
an
with the
amazing
one, the
East.
head, bro. I'm gonna be looking
Yeah,
out for that as well.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wicked,
that
wicked, brother.
All right, salute.
Salute, brother. Peace.
Yes, peace, peace, peace.
The man, they know me already, and all we do is Rodney P, the rhythm killer with the freshest brand new. It's like them boy they forgot or they never knew, so that the P stand for Pepper, London Posse is the crew. Try pressure who? One and big up SKANDOUZ, big up Dre and big up